Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, I thought I'd make a quick video now on the upcoming Champions Meetings Aries Cup that I've had the chance to really test out my current aces within scrims and kind of give my thoughts on what we can kind of expect going into it, especially when it comes to round 2 and the finals when you're going up against stronger opponents. Now, as we all know, in scrims, they typically are much stronger than what you can expect in the real Champions Meetings, even when it comes to the finals, unless you're one of those unlucky people that get somebody that's fairly strong. But what I have kind of found is that while Christmas Oguri Cap is very consistent and strong, she is nowhere near as dominant as not only me, but I've seen a lot of other people make her out to be. The consistency is what's making her very good, but she is by no means a very easy win, especially if you don't build her very strong. And we can kind of take a look at that when we talk about mine that I've gone into it. Now, I'm starting to see that I'd say I'd have like a 40 to 50% win rate in like your average rooms. Now, when I go up against like the really strong opponents, it's a little bit lower, it feels like, more like at 30% when it's scrims when I'm streaming. But the random ones that are outside of those, I tend to do a little bit better at, like a 50 to 60% win rate. And that is not just with my Christmas Oguri Cap, but also I have a Saiyan Sky Frontrunner. And that's one thing that I have found is Frontrunners are still, just like they were in the prior mediums, for Unity Cup, just as strong as they ever were, because we have such access to a lot of strong mid-leg skills to really help elevate them. Now, your front runners have to be very strong and skill intensive, because that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed has really changed from Unity Cup into Track Blazer when it comes to building your aces and going up against opponents. Is it's not all about the stats anymore. A lot of people are hitting those stat breakpoints. My Christmas Oguri Cap that I've built being a little bit weaker on the power side, and I have two of them. I have this one that came out a lot better on the power side, decent wit, but it's coming down more to your skills overall. And the skills are what basically are winning you the races now versus just stat sticking your opponents. Most people, I've even seen the free-to-plays getting the stats needed for Christmas Oguri Cap very easily. She's the easiest one to build in that sense. Now, getting all the skills, though, is not easy. You're bringing a lot of support cards, as you can already see here. Just for Christmas Oguri Cap, on the deck that I've used, I need NTR's card to finish. I need Fine Monish to finish, and give me Speed Star, and I need El Condor Pasas to finish, and I need Kita Sun Blacks to finish. And as you can see here, that's not the case. Well, I think in this case, Fine Motion didn't give me a Speed Star. Now we have my other one, where it's lower on the stat size, but I did get Speed Star. But this one I went with No Stopping Me versus Firm Course Menace. Her biggest negative being having no extra speed skills. She is losing to other people that have like Firm Course Menace right-handed and all of them. Because that's like, if you have that alongside Medium S, that's bringing up to like 1500 speed. And that is being a difference maker there. But that is also the case with the Frontrunners. The same thing with just with Christmas Oguri Cap, the skills can make or break them. This Saiyan Sky that I've built, while it's not as strong as I'd like, primarily because taking the lead did not finish for Mihono Bourbon. Luckily, I did get a hint for an early lead, but she does very, very well. Now, I do have wet conditions on here. That's just extra skill points that I had to get rid of. But she is actually, if I have a decent lobby with Frontrunners, and she's the one in the front, my Saiyan Sky is beating my Oguri Cap, like, most of the time. Like, a majority of the time, she's beating the Oguri Cap if I have another Frontrunner with her. Of course, if she's by herself, she's getting beat there. And I would say, even not having any of the extra speed skills, it's completely fine, because you're pushed so far ahead, and you're not giving time for others to catch up. And that's not just her. Looking at opponents as well, people that have strong Mihono Bourbons, or Summer Maruzenskis, the same thing applies to them. If they're getting way up ahead and the pace chasers are still very far behind, if they're not very strong on the skill side, you can win pretty consistently there. And not even just the Frontrunners now. Now, I have not built a late surgery yet. I'm still kind of looking on whether I want to make a Dominator or if I want to go all in on the gamble side of things, because right now my current deck I'm looking at building is that Frontrunner, Oguri Cap, and then a late Surger. the Seiyun Sky, yes, she needs another front runner to do well. You probably can hear my dogs in the background. They're kind of getting excited because someone's over here. But she's kind of that hedge if there's other front runners to try and take the lead from them and win outright as herself. If she's by herself, my Christmas Oguri cap's actually going to be in a lot stronger position to win herself. And then if I'm in bad positions on either of them, or it's just bad overall on their side of things, if I build a late Surger ace, they can just win outright with the gamble, which I've seen plenty of that happen. And I have not built one yet, but just kind of showcasing some of my parents I've made for them. Late Surgers are showing to be very, very strong, just for the simple fact they are so easy to build, especially like Major Orion. And what they have built into their kits and how many skills you can get on. Now, this is a parent run, so you can kind of just excuse all the skills on it. But you have access to easy things, like you have Fast and Furious from the free Marvelous Sunday card that we got. Kitas on Black, Professor of Curvature. On your left for Nice Nature, which I think is a main borrow for a wit card for a lot of people if you don't have that one. But if you have that one, then you can borrow the new Serious Assembly wit card and get On Your Left alongside having From the Brink. Two very good gamble point for accelerations, which you can then pair with Major Orion's, Major Odober's alt, as well as a No Stopping Me. And man, you have so many gamble skills, and you have very strong potential mid-race skills with Fast and Furious, Rising Dragon, Professor of Curvature. If you can build them very strong, late surges I've seen dominating when they hit. If you have a very strong one, and they all have pretty decent stat sticks on a lot of them. Grass Wonder being a good one, being a speed and power one. But I can also show some others. One that I've actually haven't really thought about building, but I may actually potentially make my ace just to be a little bit different. But you have someone like Kawakami Princess, who has No Stopping Me and Rising Dragon built in. So you can use different ones depending on what you have based on what cards you have. I have Nice Nature, which has On Your Left built in. So if I wanted to build a Grass Wonder ace, well, I'm losing the advantage of the gold she has built in, just for the simple fact I'm bringing a card that can give me it. And if I build her as an ace, I don't need Dominator either. That's just going to take up a lot of skill points. That opens up like Major Orion, who has her own alt built in, which is very strong. She has Rising Dragon, which is a really good one. That's not going to be really easy to get on your Umas unless you're like a Leviathan and you have the cards, I believe, that have it. Alongside Killer Tunes, which is fairly junk for your back enders. So she's not as good either. So kind of looking at all your different options can kind of open based on your deck. You have like Gold City if you have her. She has, I haven't leveled her up, but she has On Your Left built in. That can then allow you to borrow, if you don't have Nice Nature, it allows you to borrow the Serious Assembly Wit card to get From the Brink. And if you get all these stuff on your Umas, the late Surgers are doing quite well as well. The only ones that I've seen that are struggling a decent amount are going to definitely be the end closers. They're needing to be, I mean, of course you have like Daring Strike and all that. Same thing, trying to push up as far as they can, but they don't have the, they can take From the Brink, they can't use On Their Left. So From the Brink is one of their gamble skills alongside Major Orion's, as well as Dober's. But they don't have a lot of that easily built in, especially with the free-to-play cards like the Marvelous Sunday that gives us Fast and Furious. But kind of what I'm getting at, this is just kind of make the quick video to kind of show that, and from my experience, that every single position has a chance. So don't worry too much. Christmas Oguri Cap, while she is consistent, which is one thing I really like, which is why I built her. I like that consistency, because if you can build a strong, consistent Uma, it's very nice, especially going against weaker opponents in like round 1, and even potentially round 2, because that can easily get you into the finals as having that consistency. But then those really strong ones that might not be as consistent might be the ones that actually can win it outright for you, because they're very strong when the conditions are right for them. And that's just kind of my thoughts on it so far up to this point. And we'll kind of have to see. I'm continuing to work on improving my aces. Now, I know a lot of people think mine are quite strong, and they do decently well enough. But the thing is, everybody's got the stats. I mean, most people, if you've been playing since day one, even if you're free to play, everybody's getting the stats. It's coming down to skills, like I said. Skills is the difference maker in Trackblazer. it has been true from what I've been seeing. It has pretty much been true that it has been that great equalizer in the side of the stats. Everybody's getting higher stats as long as they play enough to get that high roll on the stats, of course. But everybody's getting fairly high stats, so you can't outstat people within Track Blazer. You have to just try and outskill them, and then you still got to win the RNG game, because even if you have more skills or better skills, sometimes you fail the wit checks and you still lose outright. And that's why, like I said, Christmas Oguri Cap's so strong. And now I'm kind of starting to sound like I'm repeating myself, so we'll just kind of call it here. That's my thoughts since I've been working on the Scrim. So if you're still struggling to build your aces, or worried about your Umas and whether or not they are going to work, just know that this one is kind of feeling a lot more RNG in that sense, and that every single position or strategy can win in this one with the conditions. It does feel like a lot of rock, paper, scissors too, depending on your opponents. If it's very heavy front, then Christmas Oguri Cap's pretty much dead on arrival, even with her consistency on her ult. Because the front runner's probably going to win. If it's very late surger heavy and like no front runners, the late surgers are going to win. If it's very even on the sides, Christmas Oguri Cap is the stronger one in that case. And so it just comes down ultimately the makeup of that the teams and whether or not you hit it on the wit checks. That's just it. I thought I'd make this quick video on that. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.